Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are still working on King John, and today we get to hear from Philip the Bastard, our favorite snarky dude from King John, in Act 4, Scene 2. So at the beginning of the scene, we had Salisbury and Pembroke sort of calling out the king and saying you didn't really need to re-coronate yourself because you didn't lose the crown, you were excommunicated from the church. And King John was like, no, really, I'm different now, ask me anything. They said, okay, free Arthur, like free Arthur. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll do that. And then Hubert comes in and the king and Hubert go and chat, and Pembroke and Salisbury are like, I'm pretty sure that he had him killed. I think he had him killed. I'm pretty sure that Arthur's dead and it was at King John's hand. And King John comes back and he's like, this token citizen Hubert has told me that poor Arthur has died. And Salisbury and Pembroke kind of see right through that, and they get very angry and they go storming out into the streets because they think that Arthur is dead and John has killed him. And then a messenger comes in and is like, there's an army coming together in France. And King John's like, how did my mom not tell me about this? Because she's in France. And the messenger's like, well, because your mom is dead. And Constance died 3 days before she did. So that's why nobody told you. And King John is like, oh my goodness, like what else could possibly go wrong at the moment that Philip the Bastard walks in? And he's like, oh, if you don't want to hear any more bad news, then maybe I should. And King John's like, no, come on, just tell me, like, just tell me what you've got. And Philip the Bastard says, how I have sped among the clergymen, the sums I have collected shall express. But as I travailed hither through the land, I find the people strangely fantasied, possessed with rumors, full of idle dreams, not knowing what they fear, but full of fear. And here's a prophet that I brought with me from forth the streets of Pomfret, whom I found with many hundreds treading on his heels, to whom he sung in rude, harsh-sounding rhymes, that ere the next Ascension Day at noon, your highness should deliver up your crown. Dun, dun, dun! So what he's saying is he's been traveling around with some priests, so he hasn't made any money. He's been traveling around, and what he's hearing is that everybody is tense and afraid. They're not exactly sure what they're afraid of, but there's just this general feeling of fear amongst the people. But then he's brought with him Peter from Pomfret, who was singing songs and telling the people that on the next Ascension Day at noon, King John is going to give up his crown. King John doesn't like this at all, so he tells his guards to put, first he challenges Peter from Pomfret, and he's like, oh yeah, really, is that what you say? And Peter's like, yeah, it's gonna happen, that's why I sang it, because it's true. And he's like, all right, off to jail with you, and he sends him off with some jailers. And there's not much good news for him coming from anywhere, but he tries to send Philip the Bastard out. Because Philip the Bastard also saw Salisbury and Pembroke, who he was pretty sure were going to start telling people that Arthur died at King John's hand. So King John sends Philip to like stop them from spreading that rumor, and sends a messenger off with them. And then he just gets a really brief moment to say, my mother dead, before Hubert comes in, and we're gonna have a nice long conversation between King John and Hubert over the next several days, where they talk about this terrible, terrible mess that King John is now in. So yeah, stick around for that, and maybe subscribe while you're at it, and yeah, all that fun stuff. Tell your friends, come on back. The soap opera known as King John goes on for another couple weeks. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.